The Haunting of Bloody Mary introduction. Welcome back, thrill seekers. If you love spine-chilling tales and terrifying encounters, you're in the right place. Today, we delve into the legend of Bloody Mary, a name that sends shivers down the spines of even the bravest souls. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more bone-chilling stories. It was a cold, rainy October night when four friends, Lisa, Mark, Jenny, and Tom, gathered for a sleepover at Lisa's house. The thunder roared outside and the wind howled like a restless spirit. As the night grew darker, they decided to entertain themselves with ghost stories. Let's do something scarier, Mark suggested, his eyes gleaming with mischief. Have you ever heard of Bloody Mary? Jenny shivered. You mean the legend where you summon her in the mirror? Exactly, Mark replied. We should try it.
Lisa and Tom exchanged uneasy glances but agreed, not wanting to be the ones to chicken out. They grabbed a candle and headed to the bathroom, the small space filled with an ominous air as they shut the door behind them. The candle's flickering light cast eerie shadows on the walls. Lisa, with trembling hands, placed the candle on the sink. They stood in front of the mirror, their reflections looking back at them with wide, fearful eyes. "All right, let's do this," Mark said, trying to sound brave. They held hands and began chanting in unison, "Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary." For a moment, nothing happened. The bathroom remained silent except for the sound of their breathing. They waited, hearts pounding, eyes glued to the mirror. Suddenly, the candle flickered violently, and a cold draft swept through the room. The mirror began to fog up, and a faint image started to form. It was a woman with long, dark hair, her eyes hollow and filled with rage. Blood dripped from her torn lips, and her hand reached out from the mirror as if trying to break through. The friends screamed, stumbling backward. The bathroom door wouldn't budge, as if an invisible force held it shut. The woman in the mirror let out a blood-curdling scream, and the mirror shattered, sending shards of glass flying everywhere. Lisa managed to force the door open, and they burst out of the bathroom, panting and trembling. They could still hear the faint echoes of Bloody Mary's scream behind them. "We have to leave," Tom said, his voice shaking. "We need to get out of this house." They ran to the living room, only to find that every mirror in the house now displayed the horrifying image of Bloody Mary. Her sinister grin seemed to follow them wherever they went. Desperate and terrified, they huddled together, trying to come up with a plan. "We have to break all the mirrors," Jenny suggested. "Maybe that will stop her." Grabbing whatever they could find, they began smashing every mirror in the house. Each time a mirror broke, they heard Bloody Mary's enraged scream, and that the temperature in the room dropped even further. Finally, they smashed the last mirror, and the house fell silent. They stood in the wreckage, their breath visible in the icy air. It seemed like the nightmare was over, but as they turned to leave, they noticed one last mirror, an old, forgotten hand mirror lying on a dusty shelf. Before they could react, the mirror glowed with an eerie light. Bloody Mary's hand reached out, grabbing Lisa by the wrist and pulling her towards the mirror. "No!" Mark shouted, grabbing Lisa and trying to pull her back. The friends joined forces, desperately tugging at Lisa as Bloody Mary's grip tightened. With a final, powerful pull, they managed to free Lisa from Bloody Mary's grasp, sending the mirror crashing to the floor. The hand mirrors shattered into pieces, and a deafening silence followed. The house seemed to exhale, the oppressive atmosphere lifting. They fled the house, never looking back. As they stood outside catching their breath, they vowed never to speak of what happened that night. But the image of Bloody Mary would haunt their nightmares forever. The friends tried to return to normalcy, but the haunting memories of that night stayed with them. They couldn't shake the feeling that Bloody Mary was still watching, waiting for another chance to strike. Months passed, and one by one, strange accidents began to plague their lives. Jenny found her reflection in the mirror moving independently. Mark's nights were filled with whispers and shadows that seemed to move on their own. Tom began waking up with scratches on his body, as if clawed by invisible hands. And Lisa, the one Bloody Mary had touched, was plagued with nightmares so vivid she could no longer distinguish between dreams and reality. One night, Lisa woke up to find herself back in front of the same bathroom mirror. The candle was lit, and the room was ice cold. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. Bloody Mary's face appeared, closer and more terrifying than ever. Her bloodied lips twisted into a sinister smile as she whispered, "You summoned me, and I am forever bound to you." The morning after, Lisa was found unconscious on the bathroom floor. Her friends, upon hearing the news, knew that the curse had not been lifted. They were bound to Bloody Mary, their fate sealed by that one fateful night. And as they each stared into their mirrors, they saw the same words written in blood: "You cannot escape." Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this terrifying tale, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more spine-tingling stories. Remember, some legends are best left alone. Until next time, stay safe and stay spooky.